Your hosts are Ben Curry and Ben Johnson. We hope you enjoy the show, and if you do, be sure to let us know. You can contact us on thebens@baddice.co.uk or leave a positive review on iTunes. Welcome to episode 61 of the Bad Dice Podcast. I'm your host, Ben Curry.
And I'm Ben Johnson.
And we've just been away to another tournament this weekend. We're not actually going to talk about it in this show, but something sort of related. We're going to talk about painting, and in particular, painting your army for a tournament.
Yep.
Now, I'm pretty sure we've talked about this many, many moons ago, back in the early days, and we're going to revisit it, 'cause it seems like a lot of people might have forgot. So that's one way of putting it.
Quite a hot subject as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it seems to be the subject of the week on the Twitter and on the forums. So we're going to cover it and give our slant on it. Before we get into that, we're going to give a shout out to our sponsors. We're going to start with Og Games. Og Games are an online store. You can get anything from the Games Workshop range from there, from between 10 and 15% off. They also stock a wide range of other just wargaming products, board games,
card games,
anything you like that satisfies your inner geek, really. Check them out at oggames.co.uk. Next up, we've got Battle Foam. Battle Foam create custom foam and custom foam carrying cases just to transport your army in the safest possible way.
Not just your army, transport everything.
Yeah, transport whatever you like in there. I do a wide range of different sizes and shapes of bags to fit any from the biggest or the smallest models in there, as safe as you can possibly need them. Check them out at battlefoam.com. They've got a brand new website and also a brand new custom tray creator. You can create your trays online and then just send them in and buy them on the website. Couldn't be easier. Next up, we've got Rankings HQ. Rankings HQ TV pumping out more and more episodes. Some gone up this week from the Salute show, which was the same weekend as we were away at the South Coast GT, wasn't we?
Yeah, same weekend.
So that's our latest video. Check that out if you want to see what happens at the big wargaming conventions in the UK. You can also check out all your tournament results on Rankings HQ.
Yeah, have the Call to War ones gone in yet?
Yep, they've gone up.
Ooh.
I'm still sitting pretty in third place, although my Call to War results aren't one of my scores, actually.
Oh, right.
Which I was quite surprised at. I thought it would be, but apparently I'm still clicking in onto some from last year. So yeah, check out your wargaming rankings. So they've got various different gaming systems. If you've played in a tournament in Warhammer 40k, Flames of War, or Hordes and War Machines in the last 2-3 years, you should be able to see rankings up there. Some of the countries are a bit newer than that, but the English, the Australian ones are in going back a few years now.
Yeah, the Australians have been doing it for, what, 6 or 7?
Yep, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's rankingshq.com. Okay, last but not least, we've got Unseen Lurker. Unseen Lurker, a gaming magazine, mainly focusing on Warhammer, but they touch on all sorts of hobby-related things and a few other game systems as well. There's always a game of the month in there. They play a different game and report back on it. Warhammer, on the Warhammer side of it, issue 8 is out. You're in it again, playing the Army Doctor, wasn't you?
Yeah, played Mr. Michael Biggs. Read all about it. He wasn't happy, bless him.
I've played him as well myself, just this weekend gone.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we'll talk about that on the bonus content show.
Oh, yeah, of course, that was for Army Doctor as well, wasn't it?
So if you're wondering what we're talking about, get yourself over to unseenlurker.com, have a look at the quarter of the magazine, which is available for a free download, and if you like it, you can subscribe or just buy a single issue on there. So that's unseenlurker.com. Okay, getting into the main bulk of the show. We're not going to do the news this week because there's a few bits out. But we're going to
Dark Eldar.
There's some Dark Eldar gone up. Obviously, the Tomb Kings are with us.
Yep.
But we're going to talk about that on the next show more in depth. We're going to have a good look at the Tomb King releases, what's in the book, things like that. So we'll cover all that in then. What we'll jump into is Fortnights in Fantasy. What have you been up to, Ben?
Quite a lot, really. Just been counting up. I reckon I've played 12 games of Warhammer.
In 2 weeks?
In 2 weeks, yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Don't get me wrong, that includes the 6 I played at a tournament. So, yeah. with flying.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I won very many.
Oh, right. Is that bad, was it?
Yeah, well, that army I took was crap.
Okay. Why?
It just didn't work. It was just so reliant on magic and shooting, and if that didn't work, everything else just ran in and killed you. No furnace, no A-bomb. Not good. Not good at all. But I get to tick Jezzails and Globadiers off my list.
What's left on your list?
Rat Ogres, Night Runners, a couple of characters. That's about it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You taking them to the next one, which is
Achievements.
Warhammer Achievements. We've got an interview with Steve Wren later in the show.
Yeah.
Talk about all about the Warhammer Achievements event. Sounds like quite a fun one.
Hope to get some of the stuff done for that. If not, it will be Midlands Open
Yeah.
and Summer Incursion around about the same time, aren't they? So,
Yeah, I think so. Some incursions a bit earlier than Midlands
is
Open.
it? Okay, well,
Yeah.
probably should be fine getting that done then.
Yeah.
I tried to do Night Runners that for the first time last night. Played 5 turns, didn't turn up.
Didn't turn up.
Doesn't bode well.
Points denial.
No, because you get the points if they don't come up.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I played Wildman with his beasts, Adamor with his vampires. They were small loss to Mark, draw to Adam. Lost to Adam, beat Adam.
You played Adam a lot.
Yeah, well, he's been off, I've been off, so yeah. Well, the loss to Adam was with his Call to War list, and then we says, we'll just play normal Warhammer, so no dice cap, no systematic line of sight malarkey. And then 20 power dice later, all his Tomb Guard were dead, including his Hierophant and his King.
Nice.
So yeah, that was a win. I played Dave, I can't remember his second name.
Dave Sweeting.
Sweeting, that's the one, on the Friday night at Call to War.
Yep.
With his double Wyvern, double Arachnok.
What do you think to the list? So run us down what was in it.
He had a level 2 Orc, a level 2 Orc, a BSB, 2 Orc Lords on Wyverns, one with I think it was a Charm Shield, one was his General, 2 Arachnoks, 40 Savage Orc Big Uns in one unit, a small bunker of Night Goblins, a Wolf Chariot, a Boar Chariot, and 5 Boar Boys. And that was it.
Yeah.
And if I'd had the list I took to the South Coast, I'd have been more than happy. Fine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you could have fought him with the...
The furnace, the A-bomb can fight stuff. Whereas it's like, right, magic and shooting is all I've got. And it's just not enough to do 16 wounds to spiders and, 10 wounds to wyverns to take them out. It just doesn't work.
No, I suppose not.
Got one Arachnok with slaves, killed that. That was quite funny. Admittedly, it took 6 wounds already, then got in combat, and the slaves dragged it down. But that, in the end, that was a 13-7 loss in the end. Just couldn't shift him. He did have a shaky break test on one of his wyverns on a 5 when he went in and I challenged. He held that, and then I flanked him with another unit and challenged again and won it by 4. So he had a shaky break test, which he passed. Fair enough. And I killed one of the general's wyvern, but not the general. He survived 3 warp lightning cannon shots after his wyvern had gone down to live. So don't get no points for that.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So I mean, if I'd have got both of those, that'd have been probably swung it back the other way, which I don't think it'd have been a fair reflection, maybe. But I did look at his army and think, right, if I deal with that. Crap, there's still 40 Savage Orc Big Uns.
Yeah, of course, running straight at you, kicking and screaming.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a loss. And then on to the tournament, which we'll talk about later. And then I played Mr. Hall again yesterday, which I twittered about.
Yeah, how'd you get on against him? What was he using? Tomb Kings again?
Tomb Kings, yeah. We called it a draw in the end because we ran out of time. The bar staff at Bugman's were kicking us out. But again, his Hierophant, his King, and the remainder of his skeletons were rats, which was quite funny. Got plague off on them.
Does the army struggle with not having enough big units to move the characters between?
He did have a big unit. He had 40 guys.
Yeah, but if you fire everything at 40 guys, they die.
Well,
and then he can't. He's got nowhere else to jump him.
In fairness, he had 40 guys. He had 2 units of 20 bowmen, so he did have big units on the field. But they got plagued in one turn, and then in my next turn, they got they got plagued and then doom rocketed in one turn, and the doom rocket hit them bang in the middle, killed 25.
Yeah.
And then the following turn, he didn't get. He rolled poorly on his magic phase, even with his casket and his Hyro Titan, and just couldn't raise back enough guys to stop me from 13th in them. One warp lightning at them first to get them down to less than 5 guys, so his characters die rather than taking the wound because they haven't got luck at Sir, and that was it really. I did blow my level 4 up in the process. I rolled a 3 on the miscast from 13th. And Adam's, oh yeah, see, that'll teach you. I've got the Earthing Rod. Rolled another 3. Gracie dodges the dimensional cascade, but kills 15 clan rats and panics off the board. So, called it a draw in the end.
Oh, right. So he's happily hammering him, and then as soon as your wizard blew up, you said, "Oh, it's a draw."
No. Well, like I say, we got booted out, so yeah, we had to call it.
Okay, so I've played against Tomb King since the last show. Played against Chris Taylor, and I didn't really know what to expect. I was using my quarter war list, and I thought I should be alright. He's got a big chariot unit. Pit of Shades in the middle of that shouldn't really miss, because they're only initiative 2, I think they are. So they only pass on a 1. Is that right? No, initiative 1. They're on initiative 1, so you die on 1. Are they initiative 2?
They're 2. I'm sure Adam was playing as 2 last night.
Anyway, I pitted his Sphinx as well. Sphinx dodged. It's initiative 3 because it uses the Tomb Guard crew. Best possible initiative. So that dodged.
Really?
And then I pitted the middle of the chariot unit. It scattered and it only hit 3 chariots. 2 of them dodged. And it's like, these 2 kings are supposed to be slow. And then it was upon me, and I was like, oh, this could be trouble here.
Yeah.
The Sphinx ran into my big spearman block and just obliterated him. But I'd managed to get a scroll out because I'd thrown the shades into the front of it, knowing a quick dose of Mind Razor, and it either goes through and it does a load of damage to the Sphinx, or it draws the scroll out. So when I'm fighting it later, I can get the spell off, which is what happened basically. I didn't need the Mind Razor to get the Sphinx, but I got the Mind Razor for the Corsairs to beat the chariot unit. After I'd got charged, he overran into me. And I Mind Razor the Corsairs. And at the same time, I was winning on the left flank with that, and then the Sphinx, it obliterated the spearmen. I think it killed 11 in the first round. Then the second round, it killed 11 Blackguard who charged it in the flank. And then I was chipping wounds away. You know what I mean? I had a flank,
Adam killed 25 Plague Monks in one sitting with it.
With its Thunder Crush attack.
It Thunder Crushed. It rolled a 6 for its Stomp, and it rolled a double 6 for its Fire Breath.
Oh, no.
It just went nuts.
Yeah, well, he charged in, didn't do the breath, he did the Thunder Crush, and then when the Blackguard went in, he did the breath.
Right.
And because I was in sort of 2 ranks by then, he thought it's better off just attacking normally rather than using the template. But the Blackguard got him eventually because he's not got a very good armor save. And I need to roll 6s to wound, but sort of each wound, or every two out of every 3 wounds go through and do a wound to him. It didn't take long to whittle him down, and eventually he went. And that was pretty much it after that. However, he did have a Tomb Guard unit left with about 900 points of characters in there, so I only got a minor win. I think it was a 12-8 or 13-7.
You need a dreaded 13th for that sorcerer.
Yes. Yeah, I imagine you do.
Twice I've done it to him. But yeah, the War Sphinx, the fact that it can Thunder Crush, Thunder Stomp, and Breathe Fire all at the same time.
It makes it awesome for that first round of combat.
It just destroys things.
If it's combat with light magic as well, to give it weapon skill 10, or whatever, high initiative, so it goes first. And yeah, it's pretty good.
Well, I don't think, because the attack always hits on a 3, doesn't it? Or does it have to hit normally?
You roll to hit normally, but you roll to hit against their initiative instead of the weapon skill.
Ah, right, okay.
So your weapon skill 3 or 4, your weapon skill 4.
Yeah.
If they're initiative 1 Plague Monks or initiative 2 Plague Monks or whatever.
3.
Yeah.
Oh,
right, there you go. Hits on 3s.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's quite tasty, hard to kill, but it's only got 5 wounds. If you can start chipping away, it's hard to bring it back because you can't really heal it very well. Unless you keep casting spells on it.
You only get 1 a phase.
1 per phase?
It's
really?
Construct, isn't it?
I thought it's one per attempt.
No, I thought constructs were 1 per phase.
I'm pretty sure it's 1 per attempt.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
Okay, fair enough. We've not got the book with us.
Neither of us bought the book yet, so.
Yeah. So anything else? Painting?
Painting. I can't remember what I spoke about last time. I finished my Clan Ras. Did we mention that? Probably. After that, I've done some Rat Ogres, made a start on them.
You've done another character as well, haven't you?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I painted my Games Day model that I wheel and dealered for.
Didn't you paint the special character as well? Squeal, something.
Oh, yeah, I did, didn't I? Trench Craventail.
That's it.
Yeah, he's going to be a Storm Vermin champion when I get around to the Storm Vermin. He's a pain in the arse to paint.
Is he?
Yeah, he's really, really small, even for a Skaven. And because he's sort of sat cross-armed, you can see his hands. Really hard to get into, past because his knees are up around his ears and all sorts. It's a right pain in the arse to paint. It looks quite nice.
Yeah, it looks good. You took some photos and put them on the Snake House section, didn't you? And they look pretty impressive.
Yeah. And then it's Rat Ogres. I got one finished yesterday. I've been doing a bit more on them today. Put a picture on Twitter of the finished one. Quite happy with him. Island of Blood Rat Ogres plus Abomination parts.
Yeah, I saw the plastics, what he's glued together, but I'd not seen him painted yet.
Yeah, made a movement tray for him tonight as well, which was a bit of a pain in the arse. Because you've got to have a space for the pack masters to go.
Oh, okay.
So I've sort of put extra bases in that I'm going to sand.
Yeah.
So it's not just empty gaps in them. Just waiting for some more magnetic sheet to come before I finish them. What else have I done? I've got some eBay purchases arrived. Some night runners. Well, old Colin Dixon gutter runners, which I'm going to use for night runners. Quite impressed by that. Got all of them, 20 of them, and another walk grinder for about 25 quid.
Yeah.
Which really surprised me. I thought I was going to have to pay a lot more than that.
Yeah, you showed me what you were getting, and it seemed like a good price. So,
well, one set of them came. It was advertised as 11, and when it arrived, there was 13. So,
nice. Can't grumble at that.
Not going to grumble at that at all.
Fair enough. Okay, well, is that your Fortnite in Fantasy?
That's about it.
Yeah, I've not done any painting. No, I don't think I've done any. I've painted my conservatory.
See, I'm not so sure on that. I'm sure it was green before.
See, you walked in tonight and you said it was green. And like, if it was green, why did I paint it? And he's like, I don't know. Like, it wasn't green, idiot. Oh, well.
I know what else I've done. Read the new FAQ.
Oh, yeah? Do you want to talk about them now, then?
Well, talk about one little bit that I've just been digging around for on my phone.
Hope you're not holding that phone right next to your microphone.
Oh, yeah, that's...
You've already encountered that this week once.
Probably a bad idea, isn't it? Can characters change position inside a unit as part of a normal move? Answer, yes.
Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it?
As long as they end up in the closest rank to the front. In response to that, must a character be moved to the front rank as soon as the space becomes available? Answer, yes.
Excellent.
So, no more hiding your men in the back.
No, unless you've got enough characters to make it happen.
Yeah.
Or you're a stubborn unit and you just go 3 wide.
Or you do that.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a few nice little questions that have been answered that have been niggling around for a while, like scouts and vanguards and magical charging and malarkeys, which I don't know. I don't think needed answering. I think it seems quite obvious, really. But
yeah, I think you're right on a lot of them. But there's a lot of useful stuff gone in as well.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of useful stuff that makes life a lot easier because some people want to just be dicks.
Yeah, of course.
I think that's about the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, there's not really any other way to say it, is there?
No.
Yeah, well, I'll put a link up to them on the forums so we can get some discussion going on what people think to the latest answers and what it means for the metagame, so to speak.
Yeah.
Not much, really. Few nice things in there. Mindraiser can only use your unmodified leadership, which makes no sense at all. That's just one I want to speak about, actually, because we had a conversation about this the other day. So the Mindraiser question, it seemed to come from nowhere, didn't it? There's nothing in the rules to make it even sort of slightly unclear that it would be unmodified leadership as opposed to the leadership at the time. So it seems to have been put in for a balance issue rather than anything else.
I don't know.
To be honest, it seems to have caused more problems than it's worth. Because
the whole leadership, unmodified leadership thing just makes my brain hurt, if I'm honest. It's kind of complicated to start with. Not massively, but then it got FAQ'd one way and then back again, and makes my head hurt.
Fair enough. Well, anyway, we're going to have a short break, and then when we come back, we'll get into painting scores, and
Okey-dokey.
we'll have a chat about them. Once upon a time, there was a guy named Oggy. Oggy loved nothing more than to go to a Warhammer tournament on a Saturday afternoon. He'd got his lovely army all ready to go, all purchased from the Og Games web store. And he'd even lined up his first 8th edition Warhammer event. The day of the tournament came, and it was horrible. He got smashed in every single game. It was all too much. Oggy was ready to give in. He'd had enough. He didn't want to play this silly game anymore. It was going to be an epic rage quit. And then the voices started.
Oggy, Oggy, embrace the filth. Oggy, embrace the filth.
It was like a switch had been flipped. Oggy was a new gamer. He headed straight to the Og Games web store, oggames.co.uk, and he created his armies of mass destruction, and the best thing was, they were all at 15% off. So head on over to oggames.co.uk, where you can get anything you need from the Games Workshop universe at 15% off. They also have a huge range of products that can satisfy all your wargaming needs. That's oggames.co.uk. Okay, so on the subject of painting scores, I think we're going to start with the easy one, really.
Shall we start with something else? Shall we start with a disclaimer?
Go on.
We're not trying to offend anybody or piss anyone off.
See, I was aiming to offend.
Well, no,
Maybe
because
not.
I don't think that's a good way of doing it.
No.
Do you know what I mean? We're not trying to pick somebody out for ridicule or anything like that. It's just that it's getting a bit bad. And we'd like to see people improve.
Yeah, and to be fair, as bad as this sounds, people like us should be the ones that are sort of trying to help it along, because a lot of people listen to our opinions, whether they're right or wrong. A lot of people listen still.
Yeah.
So we're going to give our thoughts on it, what we think should be minimum standards, what you can try and do to improve if you think you're not meeting the minimum standards, because it isn't hard. Anyone can do it.
I also think TOs have got a good responsibility.
Yep.
Not only to put painting scores out there and make sure people are aware of them, but to enforce them correctly. There's been a lot of talk on Twitter today, the last couple of days of the tournament of the weekend, where the painting scores were up, down, all over the place.
Yeah, inconsistencies.
And people get upset because they feel they've worked hard and should have achieved X, but got Y, which then can lead them to think, well, sod you, next time I'm just not going to bother.
Yeah, or like we did in the car on the way home, we looked at what we got. I mean, I got what I expected to get.
Yep.
But then when I looked at other people on the score sheet and what they got, and I knew they should have been getting what I got and didn't, either got below or above, with no rhyme or reason, led me to wonder why. So we're gonna give our take on it. But so you sort of covered there what I wanted to start with, which was what is people's gripes at the moment, because there's a lot of complaining going on, a lot of moaning, and there's two camps, isn't there, really? One of them saying it's a tournament, why is painting scores getting involved in the playing? And another saying painting scores should count for more. The lack of painting scores is bringing people to bring worse painted armies, and it's not nice to play against.
Well, from my point of view, as a guy who normally gets full painting points, everyone's going to think, oh, well, you only want painting points because it gives you an advantage. It's not that at all. I don't want to play against shit. It's basically it. To put it bluntly, I don't want to play against shit armies. It's a very visual game. It's a hobby at the end of the day. Yes, you might only just play, but it's still very visual. I want painting scores to be there to encourage people to put a little bit of effort in, reward people who do, but not make it that if you've not got a Golden Demon Standard winning army, you can't win a tournament. Not make it that at all. Like the weekend, 20 points maximum available. That's a whole win. There's no reason in the world why anybody couldn't have got 16. And there's not a lot more effort to go in to get 20.
No, I don't think there was much effort required at all to reach 20.
No.
Certainly some of the armies that did seem to breeze through it, no problems.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I didn't, but I knew that going in because I've got 2 units in my army which are sort of finished painted, but I've not decided what I'm doing with the bases yet.
Yeah.
So I paid the penalty for that by not making up my mind quick enough. So that was that. So the painting scores, like you just said, take the Call to War ones for example. There was 5 different tick boxes.
Yeah, 5 boxes, each worth 4 tournament points. First box is basic colours. Models are painted with a minimum of 3 colours. Again, pretty easy. Again, I think some armies, you could argue, can struggle with that. For example, demons, your bloodletters, pretty much red and silver.
Yeah, but there's you can get your red and your silver. You're going to have claws. You paint claws white,
But
black bits, belts, straps. You know what I mean? All
What?
sorts.
don't remember bloodletters wearing trousers.
Don't they have straps and belts on them and stuff and things like that?
No, they've kind of like got a little codpiece like action.
Well, there you go then. It's a
Yeah.
bit different.
True.
You'd paint your cod piece the same colour as your skin? No, you wouldn't.
No, like a naked action man.
Oh, right, okay.
Like a little red bump.
Oh, right, okay,
Yeah.
got you.
Okay. But
But they've got horns, they've got swords.
if you painted all your bloodletters red, they were all nicely washed, neat, tidy, detail painted, I would imagine that a painting judge would be okay with that. Do you know what I mean? Because it's appropriate for the model. You've not painted it red and silver to cut corners. Do you know what I mean?
Apparently not the weekend.
Kind of goes against what I've just said about organisers need to be stricter. But, you know, some armies, it'd be difficult to get 3 colours on.
Yeah.
Not many, admittedly, but still. So, yeah, that, again, not hard to reach.
No,
Really
of
not.
course it's not.
Bases. Bases are textured in some manner. Flock is the minimum. Just flat plain painted doesn't count. Stick some sand on there, boys.
Yeah.
You don't even need to paint the sand.
No.
Paint your base brown, put some glue on it, stick it in some sand. Done. 4 points.
Sorted, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what? 600 victory points that you've got to get in a game to get that 4 points, just sticking some sand on your base. Tidiness. The painting is tidy, i.e. the colours are in the correct areas and the model doesn't look like paint has been blobbed on.
That should be a given.
See, somebody's going to give you tournament points for doing that. You should be doing that anyway. You know? Again, how easy is that? Highlighting. Models have been shaded or highlighted. Some attempt has been made to add depth to the base colour.
Now, this is an area where people might be put off, really.
This could be a dry brush or an ink wash.
Exactly.
Or multiple layers of colour. Now, come on, an ink wash. Games Workshop inks. Army Painter Dip. 'Tis your friend. Give it a cuddle. Cohesiveness. This is the one that lost a lot of people, I think, at the weekend.
Yeah, this is the one that lost me.
Which is a weird one because I still think it's the hangover from 6th to 7th. And people are still using it as a bit of an excuse. Oh, well, I've got to change my army so much. I've had to borrow this. I've had to borrow that. It's been out for 10 months now, nearly a year. Don't think that washes anymore. There is a unified colour scheme across the whole army, i.e. it looks like an army. Note, for some armies it's perfectly acceptable to have a hodgepodge appearance and yet still look like an army. So imagine that would be, again, like a demon army. Red bloodletters, green plague bearers, pink demonettes.
Yeah, but all the banners would be the same. All the bases are the same.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
So that's your 20 points. Again,
Now, do you think that is enough at a tournament? Or is that what should be the basis, what you'd expect
I think
anyway?
that should be what you should be bringing to a tournament anyway.
So do you think a tournament should add more boxes to that?
Yes.
And what would you add? Would you have an extra box to each one? So when there's bases, there's standard bases and extra bases?
Yeah, so everyone could get 4 points for that. And then if you've gone above and beyond, you could get an extra point.
Yeah.
One thing I would add to that would be movement trays.
Yeah, well, I think that should be an extra box entirely, but
No,
the whole
that's
4 points.
what I mean,
yeah.
an extra box for having correct movement trays for your army, including skirmishing trays as well, because they're quite important
Yeah, of course they are.
for a game.
They speed it up for a start.
Yep, speed the game up massively. So yeah, I think I'd have a box of movement trays. I'd probably add a box for high quality again, a bit like what the WPS used to do. Again, just to give the guys who do the little bit extra another couple of points.
Yeah, but then is that taking it out of the realms of the people who just aren't good painters?
Well, yeah.
Because they're never going to get that.
But an extra 2 points just for putting the extra effort in, something to aspire to, doesn't drastically change the outcome of a tournament. Do you know what I mean? If you're going to win the tournament by 2 points on painting, you've still done pretty well.
Happens all the time.
It does happen all the time, but, you buy these little tin men. I don't know. Again, people are going to go, oh, he's only saying that because he paints.
Yeah, of course you are.
Well, fine.
No, seriously though.
Mate, last tournament I won, I had a washed, dipped army.
Yeah, fair enough.
Do you know what I mean?
With no painting scores.
Yeah, painting scores. It was Cardiff Carnage. Look at the painting scores. Loads of them.
Oh, okay, go for it then.
Do you know what I mean?
What was in use of the Cardiff Carnage? Because this was one that went back to the old days of the WPS system, wasn't it?
Yeah. Right, so first off, you get 1 tournament point for preparation. The majority of the models have no visible mould lines.
That's quite good, I like that.
Yep. Base colour, again, minimum of 3 colours, you get tournament point. Bases are textured in some manner, minimum being flock, tournament point. Paint is tidy, tournament point. Colour scheme. Appropriate colour scheme has been used. For some armies, again, like we said for the Call to War one, red demons, green demons, that's fine. 2 tournament points. Cohesive. Unified colour scheme across the whole army. Like you said, banners, shields, that sort of stuff. 2 points. Markings. The appropriate unit markings have been applied. So when you've got 2 units of the same type, you can identify them between them. Which something as simple as a slightly different rune on a banner.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Still paint it the same colour, so she still keeps the cohesiveness, but it's identifiable. Detail. Some attempts have been made to detail the models, i.e. eyes, claws, teeth. 2 tournament points. Highlighting. Models have been highlighted or shaded. Again, dip, inks, dry brushing. 2 points. Modelling. The army contains many complex conversions and has some hand-painted shields or banners. 3 points. Now, again, that might be a bit more towards the more experienced painter, modeller to achieve, but certainly something that's doable for everyone. Again, painting some runes on shields. It's straight lines. Do you know what I mean? Succession of straight lines, create your own rune, do it throughout your army, should get you 3 points. And then wow. This has the magical wow factor. So again, this is going to be something that's the top guys are going to get, but it's 3 points out of 20.
Yeah.
It doesn't change the world.
No.
But it rewards people who do put that extra effort in. And to get an army to score a wow, it's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So there's only going to be a couple of people who get that at a tournament.
So now the onus comes back on the tournament organisers with a big check sheet like that. They've got to make sure they do a good job, otherwise it's not fair on the players. The players who have done the right amount of stuff, the players who haven't done the right amount of stuff.
Absolutely.
You.
Now, Paul, who normally does the marking at Cardiff, is very good and very strict. He looks at every army more than once. Do you know what I mean? So that it does take some work, but you can do it.
So you think tournament organisers should be putting the extra effort in, an extra £1 on a ticket to pay a guy's expenses to come and do an extra weekend?
Well, maybe. I don't think it needs as much as that, to be honest. I think if you're running a 2-day tournament, getting around to look at everyone's army between the 2 or 3 of you that are there anyway, I think it's doable.
Fair enough. Well, it's clearly not, because the people who are running the big tournaments and over the last couple of years have started moving away from that sort of thing because it's too much work. You know yourself, right, from doing the GTs.
It never used to be, so why is it now?
Because they never were that big.
Well, maybe not. So, maybe £1 on a ticket to get someone else in.
Yeah.
It's a solution.
Yeah, it's one solution, isn't it?
Some people are going to be raging at this, aren't they?
What, an extra £1 on a ticket?
You want me to paint and pay an extra £1?
Yeah. I think it's worth it. So, overall, painting scores versus battle scores, then. How much do you think it should stack in the whole grand scheme of things?
Well, Call to War was a massacre. 20 points available for painting. Each game was worth 20 points. Like we said, I can't see any reason why anyone can't get 16 points out of that, if not 20.
Yeah.
The South Coast GT was 10 points, which was equal to a draw. The Cardiff Carnage, again, equal to 20 points. At the South Coast, everyone got a 5. The topper army's got an 8.
Topper.
The topper, good word, just invented it. And then the armies that were up for best army got a 10.
Yeah.
So out of all the tournaments, that's probably, out of the 3 tournaments we're talking about, that's probably got the least effect
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of things. But I think if you do it equal to a massive win and let everyone achieve sort of 3/4 of that with just the basics and then reward the extra little bits for a little bit better and then top end,
Yep.
I think that's about right.
So what about when you start talking of if you haven't met this certain criteria, you'll get 0 points? Should it be a case of that, or should it be if you haven't met this 0 criteria, you shouldn't be playing?
Yes, you shouldn't be playing.
Again, does that come down to tournament organisers start enforcing that?
Yeah, I think it is. Do you know what I mean? I think as soon as tournaments start to do this and making a point of it, it will start to improve.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to name names, but I've seen people at tournaments, the last few tournaments this year I've been to, and I've looked at armies and gone, I wouldn't dream of bringing that to a tournament. I just wouldn't dream of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Unpainted models, unbased models, you know, just wouldn't dream of it.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know,
fair enough.
6 people have got to play against that.
Yeah.
It's not on.
No.
You know, I really don't think it is. Again, people are raging at me now, aren't they?
More than likely. So, you still think there's a place for no soft scores, that sort of tournament?
I'm not sure I'd be interested.
No,
Not really. No.
but there's definitely there's enough events out there, isn't there?
There's enough
so
events
the people
out
who
there.
don't enjoy the painting
Look
side.
at what happened to the GT
Yeah,
6-7 years ago. You know, steam tanks made that plasticine.
yeah, it's true.
People almost having stand-up fights because there was no painting, there was no sports. It didn't matter. You could be a wanker
Yeah,
with your crap army. It didn't matter.
yeah.
Is that what everyone wants to go back to?
Well, it looks like I'm not sure on the sports side of it, but
I
the
might have to
painting
give
side of
this
it might
Hordes of
be.
War Machine thing another look, mightn't I?
Why?
If that's how it's going to be.
Well, the Hoods and War Machines.
No, but do you know what I mean?
They don't use painted figures, do they? They don't use comps. So
Well, if that's how what it's going to go back to, then I don't know. I wouldn't want to do that again. It was horrible.
fair enough.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Games Workshop, as much as people like to pick the faults, at the GTs, they used to send people home if they didn't have the required minimum.
Yeah, I've done that a few times.
But it wasn't just the fact that you were there and you were sending people home. It was the policy of the event.
Yeah.
And you made whoever was working made sure them policies were stuck
exactly.
to.
The policy of the event was your models had to be appropriately painted. You know, they all had to have movement trays. I mean, bloody hell, the amount of money I must have made War and World stores in movement trays.
But making people go and buy them.
Yeah. Either go and buy them, go home and get them, or whatever. Because it's a massive, you know, Warhammer is played with squares and rectangles.
Yep.
Without that, it falls apart.
Yep. Okay, so anything else you want to add on the painting scores?
No, not really. I think that's about it. Well, yeah, one thing about it that I've seen actually on Twitter, people who want to see, you know, about the gaming, etc., etc. The best general trophy.
Yep.
When did that sort of die off? Because when we
I don't think it ever has died out.
When we started, I always remember there being a best general trophy. Every tournament you went to, first, second, third overall, best general, best sports, best painted.
Yeah.
The best
You still get it a lot.
You don't get it that. But it was every tournament when we started.
Yeah, I suppose.
Do you know what I mean? There wasn't one at the weekend. There was one at the South Coast.
There was one at the South Coast.
Yeah, there was one at the South
it's
Coast.
upstairs.
Yeah. I know. Do you know what I mean? But I'm struggling to think back and remember seeing that.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. Normally, it's someone who's on the podium has generally won the best general.
Yeah.
Which,
But again, it depends on the amount you want to put on your painting scores. See, a tournament organiser could say, right, we're going to have overall 1, 2, and 3.
yeah,
Best general 1, 2, and 3. And the painting scores might be worth 2 massacres.
yeah,
So that'll make a big difference.
Yeah.
The whole top 10 could be different.
Yeah.
Right? Painting to soft scores. Soft scores to just general scores could be massively different. I know I went to Giant Fanatic a couple of years ago, and the painting scores there counted for a huge amount.
Oh man, so did the sports.
Yeah, and if
The
you weren't
sports, the comp, the painting was about what?
About half your score.
60%?
yeah, and if you weren't up there, if you weren't contended on the painting, you weren't in with a chance of the overall. Unless you were flying,
No.
you know what I mean?
No, I don't remember it being that. What I remember it being was if you weren't what we've said there, the basic standard, you had no chance.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It wasn't. You didn't have to have Golden Demon Army to be doing well. But if you had an army that had unpainted men in it, you were screwed. You were coming last.
Yeah. So what do you also think to a tournament organiser not releasing the breakdown of the scores at the end of the event? Not so much.
The problem with that is, if you come away from... I had this at Cardiff before, where I've seen my painting score, I've thought, oh, that's not very good. And I've spoken to the guy who's gone around and judged it. Do you know what I mean? Not ranted at him, politely asked him, why haven't I got this? Why haven't I got that? So he talked to me, he showed me why. Next tournament, he was doing the painting judging. I'd done it all. I got myself another 10 points.
Yeah. But then people thing is, people go to an event with big comp scores, big painting scores, big sports scores, and they go, oh, well, I'd have come out here on Battle. It's all over the internet, it's all over Twitter after this weekend. Oh, well, I'd have done this on Battle scores, so that's where I think I've come. You know what I mean?
Well, you're not going to help them people, are you?
What I'm saying is, if the breakdown wasn't out, people would just say, oh, well,
yeah, but then would anyone feel the need to improve? How many people have come away from Cold to War and gone, only got 12 for painting, only got 14 for painting?
I think a lot.
And looked at their army and gone, right, I need to base these to match these, or I need to make movement trays for this, or I need to paint the eyes on these.
Yep.
So at the next event, I will be 10th, not 17th.
Yeah, I think
Do you know what I mean?
there might be a few after this, because it's the first one in a while where they've had this sort of painting scoring in, which is a good thing, I think, bringing it back.
That's what I mean. I think it needs to come back, it needs to be pushed, and people need to be, not punished, a bit harsh saying punished.
Rewarded.
Rewarded, yeah. For getting an
People
army.
need to be rewarded for doing the basic standards.
Yeah.
And
if you're not doing the basic standards, then you need to be hammered on it. And if you're going to whine over the internet that you should have been 10th, but you weren't, you were whatever, because of this, then...
just a disclaimer, I don't know who would have been 10th.
Oh,
It
no.
was just a
No, it's
random
just a
number.
random-
We're not indirectly picking on someone.
I know I was 17th. That's
What,
why I said
overall?
17th, yeah.
Yeah, I was 13th, 14th, something like that.
Yeah, so... Yeah.
So, fair enough. Anyway, that's enough to about the painting scores, I think.
Sorry if I've upset anyone.
Yeah, I'm sure we haven't. I'm sure everyone sees that the painting scores can be a good thing.
I just want the basics to improve and not to look at armies and go...
Yeah, I mean, the last few events, it's just seemed to be getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, hopefully this has opened up some people's eyes to the painting scores at tournaments and what you can do to make your army up to the standards. So,
Another one. Voting for best painted armies.
yeah.
I don't think we'll enforce this at the weekend, but 10 votes for voting for your best army.
Yeah, I saw that, and I saw they weren't enforced, which I was a bit disappointed in, but...
I like that.
I like it a lot, and it was in the rules pack, and it should have been enforced, but that's another point entirely.
Yeah, but I think that is better when they do like what Will did at the weekend and they select 10 armies and move them somewhere so everyone can look rather than have to wander the hall. Do you know what I mean? And it also gives people a chance to look at the so-called better armies and see if they can steal any ideas or things that they can improve on. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of times, a lot of armies aren't laid out. They're put back on a tray. They're put back in the box. Do you know what I mean? So it's a good... Do you know what I mean?
Oh, you've said it.
So yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I do think though that 10 points for voting is probably a little bit much.
I don't. I think it's great.
Fair enough.
I'd give him 50.
Okay.
Really would. Get your finger out your arse and get the votes in.
Yeah.
So, but that's just me. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm a bastard.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, we're going to go for another short break, and then when we come back, we're going to have the interview with Steve Wren talking about his Warhammer Achievements tournament that's coming up. Hi guys, I just want to take a minute to tell you about an amazing new product from Battle Foam. It's the brand new Battle Foam Warhammer Fantasy Trays. Battle Foam have recently released 40 of these trays, pre-cut to suit any of your fantasy army needs. If you have a huge monster, an amazing character, or a wild conversion, you can also design your own tray using the Battle Foam Custom Tray Creator. You can get a unique custom tray to suit your unique custom army. Battle Foam also make a revolutionary range of bags called the Pack System. These bags are designed to carry your army in total safety no matter how big or small. There'll be a bag designed for exactly what you want. No matter what it is you need transporting, you can find the foam and bag to do it at battlefoam.com.
Okay, I'm joined by on the phone Steve Rent, the tournament organiser of Warhammer Achievements. How are you doing, mate? Welcome to Achievements.
Yeah, I'm not too bad, Ben. How are you?
I'm all right. It's attempt at this. The first one had a bit of poor sound quality, so we're going to have a do-over. So we've got you on to chat about Warhammer Achievements, which is a bit of a different event, not the normal run-of-the-mill thing you'd expect from a tournament. So give us a quick rundown of what it is and where the idea came from.
Sorry.
Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, it's a 1,600-point one-day event. I got the idea from doing, the bingo, actually, that you guys ran at the South Coast, the ones that Ollie and the guys did as well.
Yeah.
And I wondered if you could actually make a tournament, not necessarily a tournament, but if you could make an event out of that where you score points as well as doing like your normal games and stuff like that, whether or not you could score points for doing stuff during all of the competition and including things like painting and sports scores and stuff as well.
Okay, sounds good. So basically, you're trying to achieve achievements by doing different things. What sort of things have you thrown in there then?
I tried to break it down so that it was different groups. So there was achievements for generalship, achievements for painting, some for sports, and army selection as well. So you can do sort of some pre-planning and get some of the achievements before you come along. But mostly they're things that happen in the game sort of naturally, things like double one in a break test. What else? Charging lone characters, completing a turn one charge, fighting rounds of combat with the same unit in different turns, charging the flank. Some of them quite easy to get, and other ones that are a little bit more sort of don't come up that often, but are interesting things that might happen.
Yeah, so have you also thrown in some stuff that you have to go out of your way to get, or is it all things that you can just take your normal tournament list and...
Well, I think there's quite a few that are things that you can get as you're playing the game as normal, but there are some that you can sort of aim yourself to get. Aim yourself to get. That's terrible. That you can sort of set up and try and get. There's some that are deployment based, so you can settle your army up on one flank. You can build in like a gun line, almost kind of army with you've got loads of shooting and stuff like that. What else was there? Quite a few. There's quite a few other ones. It's quite an extensive list.
Yeah, well, we've got a list in front of me. I mean, generalship, there's 40 different ones. So explorer, deploy a unit in a forest before rolling for it. So you've got to explore to see what the forest is. You get a point for that. Stupidity, fail a stupidity test. Brave star, pass a terror test. Wooden spoon, lose all your games. And ultimate warriors, win all your games. So there's always going to be a lot that you can't get both of them. Obviously.
Yeah.
So you're going to be aiming for some. Then you've got your painting ones. So this is to hope people will try and get as many painting scores as you can.
Yeah, I think there's opportunity. I mean, you could score 15 painting points really, really easily.
Yeah.
Just by sort of organising the army that you bring with you. And what I thought I'd do is just have like a little printout on an A4 sheet of paper with each of the different with each of the different achievements, so you can just put your model into it, and when I'm sort of coming around at lunchtime to check everything off, you can just quickly tick through what everybody's got. So having, for example, your best painted model or a model that you've dipped and things like that, that'll all score you points.
Yeah, the Podhammer Award included a Hordes or War Machine model in your.
Yeah, that made Ben laugh as well when he looked at it.
I bet it did. Cheapskate includes some Mantic models. So there's some good stuff in there. Now, there's a bit at the start about a man of intrigue. What's all this about?
Well, the game in itself is 3 scenarios, and the man of intrigue needs to be a model that you bring along who really acts as an objective marker. And in each of the scenarios, he sort of has a role. The first one, the pub crawl scenario, you have to go and pick him up. And then the second one, he's got the information to tell you whereabouts on the battlefield you can find a load of treasure. And the third one, he ends up working for your opponent and tells them which of your units got all of your treasure. So you get a few bonus points for killing him in the final battle.
Okay, and how are the tournaments scored? Is it all on the achievements, or do you actually count the battle points as well?
Well, I wanted it to be, the achievements is going to be for the overall, so you could win it from sort of any position. You wouldn't have to win all your games to win the overall award. So that would be that's like the main one. And then there's a generalship award for the person who actually does the best in all 3 games. So whoever wins sort of all 3 of their games and gets a bucket load of, sort of get all their scenario points and a bucket load of victory points, they'll end up with the best general award.
Great, sounds good. So what are you expecting to see at the event? What sort of armies are you predicting?
Hopefully armies that are very, very different from what people would normally bring to a normal sort of Warhammer tournament. I think there's an opportunity to bring something completely different. I mean, the points level's quite small, so if people want to bring new armies, things like that, that's a good opportunity. And you can take, because it's not really serious, there's no rankings points or anything like that. You could bring whatever you fancy, really. I'm hoping that there's going to be some really fun armies turning up.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at the army selection achievements now, and I mean, there's some pretty good ones in there. I mean, there's include a special character. That'd be interesting. It's 1,600 points as well. Don't take a lord. Balls of steel. Don't include a BSB. Yeah, there's some rewards for not taking the run of the mill.
Yeah.
Mounted for your pleasure. Take an all cavalry army. So yeah, hopefully someone will take advantage of these and try and score as many achievements by taking some crazy different builds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, some negative achievements.
Well, this one, I wanted kind of an inbuilt comp that I didn't have to worry about or think about. So when I wrote the pack out, I was thinking about what sort of things have been sort of received negative feedback about the game. Things like the Conga reform into a building, using some of the really big spells and a few of the sort of broken items like the pendant or rumination, things like that. So anyone who does that gets penalised achievement points. So it doesn't affect your games at all, but it can affect your chances in the overall placing.
Yeah, so anyone who wants to win overall has got to play nice and take...
Yeah. Although, as I say, if you don't want to play nice, I have got a little prize for the person who gets the most negative achievements as well.
That's... So you could go out your way to get them all and look.
You could do. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that would make you the most popular person there, but yeah, you can give it a go.
Yeah, it won't go down very well. So where can you buy tickets for this event?
You can get tickets on TWF. There's a thread in the tournament organised in the events section there. You can get them through PayPal, so it's dead easy.
Okay, is it expensive?
£12.50, so fairly reasonable, I think.
Not bad at all, is it? It's a one-day event, isn't it? And
yeah.
It's held at Maelstrom Games, is that right?
Sorry?
And it's over at Maelstrom Games it's been held, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. They're going to do the barbecue as well in the evening if anyone's around, so that would be quite nice.
Stick around.
A few people to stay over, yeah.
Oh, that's good. So how many places have you sold so far?
We've sold 18 so far. I was hoping when I started for about sort of 24 to 30, so we're getting there. There's still a month to go, so hopefully we'll get the numbers.
What's the date of the actual event?
It's on Saturday the 4th of June.
Right, okay, so by the time people hear this, it's about 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
So plenty of time to get your tickets if you like to.
Absolutely.
Get yourself over to warhammer.org.uk and have a look for the Warhammer achievement threads in the general tournament section. I'll stick a link up in the show notes for anyone who's interested in finding it that way. Are you going to be playing yourself or?
No, no. I've had to write the world's most complicated Excel spreadsheet to score it all, so I'll be busy filling that in all day, I expect.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, what sort of prizes are up for grabs?
Well, at the moment, all I've got is a few rather nice trophies, and if I've got any money left over at the end, once I've sort of sorted everything out, I'll probably see if I can't throw together a few little extra bits and pieces. But to be honest, I've not really thought that far ahead at the moment.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I'll tell you what, if you want, I can give away some stuff for your prize pack then. So anyone who wins a prize can get a year's access to the Snake Eyes section. You can give that away as well if you like.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Thank you very much.
So chuck them in there, and hopefully the event will go quite well. So one quick question before you do depart. Do you listen to Point Hammered podcast at all?
Yes, I do.
Some of the ideas in there I've seen of they've run a tournament recently with some of this sort of stuff, haven't they?
Yeah, it was the Wapaka event, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. That was where the Man of Intrigue name came from.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean,
ideas have been shared across the
well, as I say, I've not actually read the rules pack that they wrote for it. So, other than nicking the Man of Intrigue award, I don't know how close everything else is going to be. But we'll see. I better have a look and find out.
I think it's quite different. Quite different thing you are.
Yeah.
You're going for a total different slant on the whole achievement things. It's quite unique. It'd be interesting to see how many people. Is there a prize for the person who just scores the highest on the achievements?
Yes, yeah, that's the overall one is just the most achievements.
Most achievement. Excellent. Well, I think Johnson's already signed up, hasn't he? So
yes, he has.
To do some recording on the day and bring our feedback back to the show. So.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, anyone wants a bonus achievement point, they can grudge Ben for the first game. That'd be quite entertaining.
A bonus achievement for grudging Johnson.
Yep.
It's like a free win for someone, isn't it? Okay, well, thanks a lot for coming and talking to us, Steve. Hope the event goes really well for you, and we'll speak to you again soon.
All right, great. Cheers for the support, guys.
Cheers.
Unseen Lurker is a new, exciting gaming magazine covering gaming, tactics, hobby, modelling, reviews, interviews, and even the occasional zebra. Each issue has a quarter of the magazine available for download, so you can try before you buy. It's the first independent global magazine encompassing articles from generals and hobbyists all over the world. Every issue of Unseen Lurker, that's Lurker with an E, is packed with giveaways such as custom dice, t-shirts, as well as the Game of the Month as reviewed by our Unseen Lurker test dummies. For more information, check out unseenlurker.com.
RHQ TV, a videocast dedicated to gaming enthusiasts. Catch the latest tabletop gaming products, get painting and modelling tips from industry experts, watch interviews with leading industry personalities, and in full high-definition video. RHQ TV is for you. More than 100 minutes of high-definition video every month. News, interviews, tournament reports, and product reviews. Warhammer 40k and Fantasy, Flames of War, War Machine, and Hordes, and more.
www.rankingshq.com. RHQ TV. Game on.
Okay, so another show in the bag. Hopefully the interview with Steve's come out all right. I haven't listened to it yet, so how did it go, Ben?
It was fine. It was a little quiet.
I can fix that.
Steve was a bit of a far away from the phone, and there might be a bit of clicking to begin with.
Yes.
iPhone recording sat next to iPad with rules pack on equals tick, 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 tick.
Not good. Hopefully it didn't go on too long. It didn't obscure your enjoyment of the interview.
I think it was about the first 40 seconds.
Okay. I hope so.
What do you mean you hope so? You've listened back to it, surely?
Not yet.
Awesome.
Okay, so yeah, thanks Steve for coming on, and if you want to check out more information about the Warhammer Achievement events, I'm probably covering stuff that you've already gone over in the interview here.
Yeah,
you can check out the Bad Dice forums, and also check out the Warhammer forum. That's warhammer.org.uk. Okay, so while we've got time, quite a short show this one, we're going to have a dig in the mailbag and get some. So we've had some listener feedback.
We've got a mailbag?
Yeah, well, it's the mailbox, Windows Live Mail.
Okay.
And it's not really a bag, and it's not really mail, it's email. But a chap called Jonathan James has sent us an email. He sent it a couple of weeks ago, actually, so I've only just got around to getting back to him. I mentioned on the last show that I was going to cover it. We're just going to have a chat about his Odd Boys list. So basically, he's gone to the Hardboys tournament. I think he's qualified from the first round, and he wants to go to the second round and wants to turn it up a bit. He wants to make it a bit harder and a bit cheesier. So he's running Warriors of Chaos. He's got a Chaos Lord on a Demonic Mount with Mark of Tzeentch, Chaos Rune Sword, Talisman of Preservation. A Sorcerer Lord level 4, Mark of Tzeentch with a puppet. A level 2 of Shadow with an extra spell. Exalted BSB with the Doom Totem. Then 15 Warriors times 2 with Mark of Tzeentch. A block of 40 Marauders of Khorne with flails. Then just some chaff, basically Warhounds, Horsemen, some Chariots, Knight Unit, and 2 Hell Cannons to go with the Doom Totem. So what do you reckon to the list?
I think I'd have more Marauders.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So Fabian Quinn was at Call to War at the weekend, and he was running 3 blocks of 40 Khorne Marauders.
Oh, was it 3? Oh,
yeah, and he says he'd run more if it wasn't for the cap on the maximum of 3 in the ETC comp. Yeah. So he says
I don't see there what the 5 Knights do, the Chariot does, the Horsemen do.
See, to me, behind the list, the idea of it seems to be the whole Doom Totem, 2 Hell Cannon shots. So why not go the whole hog? Why not go Death Magic level 4 for your leadership spells? Make your Tzeentch Wizard level 2. Make your level 2 Wizard Mark of Tzeentch and look for Pandemonium. With your 3 spells, you should be hoping to get it. And then stick a 3rd Hell Cannon in.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't get the Chaos Lord.
It just gives you something a bit choppy, doesn't it?
I'd have another Wizard.
I think if I was running the Chaos Lord, I'd run him as Stubborn.
Well, why not swap the Chaos Lord for the level 4 on Shadow? On Death, sorry.
So 2 level 4s, level 4 on Death, level 4 on Tzeentch, level 2 on Shadow. That'd be quite tasty. Could do. It seems very light on units for 3,000 points.
Yeah, he has got Chaos Lord, a Sorcerer Lord. Do you know what I mean? They're not cheap, are they?
No, they're not. I mean, he did say he's made a few changes. He says the level 4 he's wanting to change to Shadow and made the level 2 Fire. And he was talking about dropping the Doom Totem as well, but I don't know. It's sort of...
I don't think if your level 2's Fire, you need to spell Familiar.
No, probably not, because you want the Fireball and Flaming Sword. Well, I don't know. It means you get Flaming Sword. Mate, it's an awesome spell. The more I'm using it, I've been looking at my list and thinking I want an extra spell on both my Wizards.
That would be cheating.
That would be cheating, but I could get away with it, I reckon. So what do you think? Warriors of Chaos? What have you faced? Forget about that. Stop looking at the laptop, because you've glazed over.
I was reading.
You've glazed over. What don't you like facing when you see Warriors of Chaos?
What, with my Skaven army?
Oh, in general.
Units of 40 Marauders with great weapons and Khorne.
Yeah.
Kind of upsetting.
Yeah.
The small elite Chaos Warriors rub my hands together.
Yeah, of course. I don't know. Maybe more Knights. Knights seem to be going well.
See, I wouldn't. I'd have that list there. I'd have another Hell Cannon, and the rest would be Marauders and Dogs.
And you'd take 4,000 points?
No, I'd dump the rest. Dump the Knights.
So get rid of the Warriors.
The Warriors, the Knights, the Horsemen. I don't see what the Horsemen are doing at all.
No.
You might as well have Dogs. Get 2 units, 3 units.
Yeah.
The Chariots, 3 Hell Cannons.
3 Hell Cannons. Is that what you'd run at 3,000?
Can you go... is it 3,000? It's 3,001.
Oh, no, you capped at 2, aren't you?
Is it still 2?
It depends what the...
is it a Grand Army?
If it's a Grand Army in the Hardboys, you can have 3.
You must be able to.
You must because
dude has 3...
Brad was running 3 Abominations.
Wasn't he? Yeah, 3
so yeah, it must be Grand Army. Then 3 Hell Cannons. 3 Hell Cannons would be good, wouldn't it? Build your army around it. 3 Hell Cannons, Death Magic, Doom Totem. Then just sit back and shell people in your Khorne Marauders with dogs in front of them to stop them running off.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Easy. We could do the Army Doctor. No problem.
Yeah. So
Bobo, give us a call.
Yeah. So how many games are you going to play with this list that you've just made up?
None.
Yeah, you can't do the Army Doctor.
Sounds good though, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course it does. Okay, so I think that's about it for this show, isn't it? Is there anything else you want to throw in? Oh, we've had another email here. We'll cover this as soon as we've got time. So it's from a chap called Ben Leach. He's running a tournament in the Shrewsbury area, which is an odd one because I've never heard of any other tournaments running in that sort of area. Have you?
Nope. I'll be honest with you, I couldn't point Shrewsbury on a map.
Really? It's sort of over there and that way a bit.
I could do sort of Derby and Nottingham, and then I'm sort of done.
Is that it?
Yeah.
That's your extent?
Yeah.
You're not even joking, are you?
No.
No, fair enough. Okay, so he says he's running 2,400 points. They realise that they're going to be struggling with advertising to get the word out for the tournament, so they've emailed into us, and they wanted us to have a quick look over the rules pack as well to see what we thought. Now, what do you really want in a 2,000-point army before you look at this? Because I know you've not seen it yet.
Did you not say 2,400?
So, 2,400-point rules pack. What do you want from it?
Just cut the top off, really. As
Yeah.
we've said repeatedly, I think. Pretty.
Stop looking.
You
glazed over again.
Yeah, I had. Just cut the top off, do you know what I mean? Stop the silly double rares, 2 abominations, that sort of thing. The look at sirs or the 1 wound for the super spells is always a good one. Power Scroll Fortress, probably not the best of ideas to take them. That's about it, really.
Scenarios?
See, I don't mind the scenarios.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what he's got thrown in there. So I'm pretty sure, basically, that's what they've said they're going to do.
Oh, there you go.
So it's 2,000-point event. It's on
2,400.
2,400-point event.
Twice you've done that.
It's on Saturday the 21st and Sunday the 22nd of October. It's in Shrewsbury. One of the things that they did say is they're running it for charity. So all the proceeds from the tournaments, after obviously running costs have been taken out, is going to the local haematology clinic.
Okay.
Okay, so you want us to have a quick look at the comp. So it's fairly simple. It's 2,400 points. You can't bring the Power Scroll, can't bring the Folding Fortress. You only had 1 Lawmaster or magic item that makes you a Lawmaster in your army. You can only take 1 magic item that ends a spell automatically, so Dispel Scrolls or Cube of Darkness, you know what I mean? You only had 1 of them.
I've not seen that before.
No, you can only have a potential of 40 ranged shots in your army. War Machines count as 5, repeater crossbows and the like, which have multiple shot, count as 2. I think there's a problem there. In the fact that,
because you can't take your 50 shades?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, mine fits through fine. It's just I'll drop 1 shade, so I still get Life Taker. No, skinks. Skink Crocscore units. If you have a big skink Crocscore unit, you know what I mean, you can have 1 unit of skink blowpipes, 20 skink Crocscore, and that's it. That's all you get. So maybe that needs an amendment. So you've got to.
And to be honest with you, if you have 50, 60 shots, is it the end of the world anymore?
No,
It's not what it was.
Yeah, but you don't want it going the other way and getting silly.
No.
The problem is, I mean, I was speaking to Scott Lines at the weekend, and he was saying he's dropped all ballistic skill-based shooting out of his Empire list. He said it's not doing enough.
Yeah.
So he's got rid of it all, and he's just running the War Machines and the combat blocks.
Yeah. All your hexes, your storm banners, etc. Yeah, knocking them down.
So then the following units are 0 to 1. So Abomination, Steam Tank, Hell Cannon, Engine of the Gods, Warp Lightning Cannons, Doom Wheels, Flamers, Wraiths, and units of Iron Guts. So I'm not really sure why the units of Iron Guts are 0 to 1. So maybe that's one.
Has
you
he
need
had
to
a
look
bad
at.
experience?
I think he must have had a bad experience. His regular opponent must be smashing him with
Did
Iron
somebody
Guts.
put them in a sock and hit them?
Isn't John Broom from Shrewsbury? Maybe John's been smashing him with
Naughty John.
multiple Iron Guts. So maybe that's it. I don't know.
I've never seen that before in my life. A cap on Iron Guts.
No, neither have I.
That's great.
It's quite a good one.
Say
So
that before he changes it.
other than them bits, it's looking about right.
Yeah.
You can have 2 Hydras still, so maybe that one's looking at.
I'm not sure why the Doom Wheel's 0-1.
No, but I don't know. Like I said, there's a few tweaks. The other thing is there's nothing been done about the big spells. So maybe that needs a dose of looking at.
Yeah, definitely.
But other than that, looking pretty tight. Just trims the top off and nothing too major.
That's sort of been our stance for a while, hasn't it, really?
Yeah.
You know, just take the edge off. I think the big spells, they need to be in there because they help you deal with the 50 Graveguard, etc., etc. Because, again, he's got no unit size caps either, has he?
No.
Which seems to be quite popular. The points caps. So you need big spells like that to deal with massive units of Graveguard, Bloodletters. But then when they start killing your characters turn 1, it's non-game, isn't it?
Yeah. Maybe you need to do something with the magic cap as well. Dice. Something simple. I don't know. Maybe not allowed more than double what your opponent's got in dispel dice or something daft like that. Because you have a 12 dice cap, it's soon one person gets 4 dice, the other one gets sort of 15.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not, but you know what I mean. It soon racks up. Everyone hits the cap of 12 every turn, despite what you roll with some armies. You mean double mass for the Black Arts and Periapt and that sort of stuff. Beastman with a Herdstone. But yeah, other than that, looking pretty solid. So anyone wants more information than that, you can fire off an email to Benjamin R. Leach at hotmail.co.uk, and he'll send the rules back over to you. I'll also post a link to this up on the Bad Dice forums as well, so check them out.
Anything on price there?
I can find it up to the top.
Sing along to yourself, Ben. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I will do. No, I can't see the price. It was cheap. I'm pretty sure it's 20 quid with food included.
Oh, that's not bad,
said in the email. Yeah, here we go. So breakfast isn't included. No, can't find it. I've seen it in the rules pack somewhere. Okay. But yeah, send them an email or check on the Bad Dice forums and I'll post it up.
At 20 quid.
I think it's just a draft pack at the moment. I'm not sure it's the final one, but yeah, keep an eye out for that.
Okay.
So is there anything else you want to cover before we depart?
No, I think I'm done.
Okay.
Upset enough people today.
You're good at that.
Yeah.
Just a few things I want to throw out there. Follow us on Twitter. We've had a bit of a call tonight, though, haven't we? Twitter call.
Yeah, I apologise if we've called you.
Yeah, if you've been cut off, sorry, but do follow us, though. No, I don't think we've cut off many of the wargaming ones. There's a few 40k guys and some of the American guys who we don't even know who just followed it, and Jake Humphries followed it at Adepticon. Some of the random strays and waifs that we'd followed over the years.
You wanted to get rid of Will Wheaton.
I wanted to get rid of Will Wheaton, yeah. You know why? Because I would just follow him on my personal account instead of clogging up the Bad Dice one with wrestlers and Formula One types.
No wrestlers on there. You got rid of them all, you bastard.
Yeah, so check us out on Twitter. There's been plenty of discussions this week post Call to War. I'm sure there'll be plenty more in the coming weeks as we're running up to Tempest. Yes, Tempest is the next one. I don't think we're going, but there'll be loads of chitter-chatter on there for that. Miniature Monday is the big thing on Twitter with the wargaming types.
See, I've not done that for a while. I keep forgetting.
If you've been working on something over the weekend, post it up on a Monday. It's a good little community on there, so check us out on Twitter. Other than that, you can sign up to the Snake Eyes section where we're going to do all our coverage of the Call to War event. Mm-hmm. I suppose we best throw out now a bit of a congratulations to Bolly.
Yeah. And AD and Dave.
Yeah, Bolly for first place, AD in second, Dave Grant in third. Them guys did good at the weekend.
Yeah.
So
Bolly sat on table 1 for 4 games?
4 games, yeah. We're going to cover the event in depth in the bonus content, so you can check it out. Check it out on the Snake Eyes section. Yes, we are, Ben. Exactly like we discussed not an hour ago.
I was like, oh, look, we're nearly finished. You get nearly night.
Yeah. Oh. I don't know. On that note, we're gonna depart and we're gonna do some recording for the Snake Eyes section. So we'll see you next time. Cheers
everyone.